Joined by the Mayor of Cape Town, Patricia De Lille. Ma'am, good morning, welcome to Morning Live, and Happy New Year to you.
Same to you, good morning.
Okay, let's get the issues out of the way. The organising committee, the Carnival Committee, says that you're to blame for the cancellation. According to you, you only found out via the media yesterday that today's event was cancelled. What's the clear story here?
Well, they are liars. In November, the city, along with the Western Cape Province, signed an historical agreement with this new committee. And in terms of that agreement, it states very clearly that the committee are the event organizers and that it is their responsibility to ensure that all the relevant preparations are in place. The city has given the committee a sum of 2 million rand, along with 1.65 million rand of city services. The provincial government gave them 2.35 million, with a full understanding that it's their sole responsibility to ensure that the event takes place and it takes place successfully. I only heard through the media yesterday that this event has been cancelled. I then had to instruct the city officials accordingly to stop all further preparations for today that we are required to do in terms as the legislative authority. And so they must take full responsibility and blame for the cancellation of the event today.
Ma'am, you know, one of the other things that in the past there's been a lot of issues between the City of Cape Town and the Minstrels Committee. Have you received, as we're sitting now, a formal notification of cancellation?
We've received no formal notice of cancellation. The key to the problem here is that in the past, the city was the event organizer and the city procured the services ourselves and we paid the service providers directly. Yesterday, 2 o'clock in the afternoon, the service provider that they have procured to provide the necessary fencing was paid 100,000 rand short. And the service provider sent them a lawyer's letter to get the other money. I came to hear about it and I made an intervention on behalf of the city to say to the service provider, we will help to sort out this problem so that we can get the fencing up last night for the event today. So it's issues like this where they want the money to do the procurement themselves, and in this case again, also the procurement in terms of getting the buses to transport the troops today. They've not been able to procure the services because they want to make deals with all the service providers. The City of Cape Town does not work like that. We've got procurement procedures in terms of the Municipal Finance Management Act, and that's why if we had to organize the event, you were not going to find this kind of issues like we are seeing today.
Mayor, very quickly, Kevin Momberg, the CEO, he quotes forces that are behind the cancellation to make them look inadequate. Your response to that?
Well, you know what, the City of Cape Town has got procedures. If we had to do the procurement ourselves, in terms of the Municipal Finance Management Act, we had to take responsibility for it. They wanted to organize the event themselves, so they must take full responsibility. They cannot blame the City of Cape Town. We did not procure services. They did it. We gave them the money. So to turn around today and say forces, what kind of forces? I don't believe in these kinds of theories of forces because there are systems and procedures in place that we follow in the city, but we were not responsible for the procurement of the services.
Ma'am, one last question. I just want to ask you, what is the relationship going forward going to be like now? There are clear discrepancies in this relationship. There are clear issues. There's miscommunication. How are we going to solve this problem? And will the event go ahead on the 10th of January?
It is happening like this without fail every year. There are always problems. In terms of the event taking place on the 10th of January, they have to make an application in terms of the Events Act, to the City of Cape Town and the stakeholder committee that will finally make a decision. And that stakeholder committee will consider their application. There's no guarantee that they will be granted the 10th of January. So they must submit the application to host this event on the 10th of January, and it will be considered according to the Events Act of I think it's 1998 or something like that.
Who's accountable for the money that's been spent already? I mean, you quoted that figures at the beginning. Let's just go through that figures very quickly. It's been 2 million rand that the city has spent. There's 1.65 million in support, and from the province, 2.35 million rand that's been spent. What are we going to do in terms of the money that's already been spent? Who's accountable, and how will that money be recouped?
In terms of the agreement that we signed, that's a valid legal agreement in November between the province and the city and the Minstrels Association. They are responsible to account for every cent of that money. And we will insist in getting proper invoices, getting proper proof of payment of legitimate service providers. They have to account. We have given the money to them because they wanted to be the event organizers.
Is this event in jeopardy? You've stated that every year you've got a problem with the minstrels. Every year there's a fallout. Every year there's logistical issues. What is the future of this relationship between the City of Cape Town and the Minstrel Committee?
Because of the historic nature of this event, the City of Cape Town has always been supported of this event because it's been there for generations before us. And it's a shame and a pity today that even last night people were on the parade, normally sleeping there because they want a good view this morning, and had to be told there's no event today. So the selfishness of not allowing the event to take place today impacts on a big, substantial amount of people in Cape Town and communities. So it's very, very sad, and it's very disappointed because people have been looking forward to see this event.
Okay, ma'am, we're going to leave it there. Thank you very much for joining us from Cape Town. That's
Pleasure.
the Cape Town Mayor, Patricia De Lille, responding to the cancellation of the carnival event that happens. It's called Tweede, nuwe jaar. It's been moved to the 5th, and now, according to the CEO of the Minstrel Association, it will move to the 10th of January. Radio